It's Bourbon Night. Hello, I'm Chad.
I'm Sarah.
Sarah, we have a familiar name, but a new look here in a bottle. What do we have?
We have Evan Williams, 1783.
I recognize the name. I don't recognize the bottle.
The bottle is new, yeah.
I don't recognize the proof.
Ugh, this one brings back memories, though.
Doesn't it?
I don't know how I feel about it changing. I mean, because in our very first video, we bonded.
Now, you're referring to 50 bourbons under $25, our very first It's Bourbon Night episode.
Which is kind of fitting, though, that we're doing this
Yeah.
now because we're coming up on our 5th year anniversary of
That's
that video.
So thank you to Evan Williams for putting
Commemorating.
this out around the time that we're turning 5.
They're so thoughtful.
And also thank you, Evan Williams, for sending us this bottle. They sent this out as a press kit, and we were one of the ones who got it. So we didn't pay for this bottle.
No, we did not.
But yeah, so here's the skinny, as we said, going up from 86 proof to 90 proof, and the MSRP on this is just $20. MSRP on the old bottles around 15,
I usually
16.
Yeah, I usually see it for like $16, $17.99.
So it's going up $4.
Just a little.
And I feel like, oh no, I was like, is it a cork?
Oh, it's a screw top still.
So it's an unscrewing, but that's fine. I do like this bottle though.
I do like the bottle.
This is their small batch. They're saying that this comes from around 300 barrels going to this small batch. So let's give it a little go here.
I get some more mature notes on the nose, right? A lot of
richer.
I feel like some rich oak.
We should also say
Maybe a little tobacco.
Yeah.
Coming through.
No, I believe it. They're also saying this is between 6 and 8 years.
Okay, for $20, I mean, not bad.
Just to continue that story, the episode's been out for 5 years, so if you haven't seen it, I'm sorry. But
I was gonna say, do you think they'll bring back Jim Beam Choice for you, Chad?
No. Go ahead and spoil it.
So we did our blind flight, 50 bourbons under $25. This one, after all the blind flights, there were, I don't even know how many we did, 16. This one won for me. The reason that we did that bracket was because we didn't know which, widely accessible things that we actually liked. We knew what we thought we liked based on names and reputations and stuff.
Right.
I had never had this before, that flight, and
it kind of started a romance.
it did start a romance between me and Heaven Hill, to be honest.
Yeah. Tell you what, Sarah, I am enjoying this nose.
It is nice. It's got a little nuttiness to it, which
It
I have
does.
found.
The Heaven Hill nuttiness.
It's not quite the Jim Beam nuttiness, but it's got something going on there.
It's got those classic caramel vanilla bourbon
Sure.
flavors, but I see where you were coming from with like that almost
little bit of
like
a darker-
tobacco or borderline leather notes that you would get on like at least
I would start to say-
10-year, 12-year and older.
Yeah, mostly like 12-ish.
Yeah, type of things.
But it's in there. I mean,
got
it's
good legs.
It's not aggressive
color.
with it.
Well,
I'm gonna try it.
let's go in. Okay.
I mean,
Some honey.
yeah. I think that a lot of the flavors that we described on the nose are still showing up. What impresses me is that it's got those layers and like at a level of complexity that I'm not used to with a 90 proof. And I'm liking that a lot. Like it's still easy for someone who wants to spend maybe $20, who's like not super down their bourbon journey yet.
Right.
But it's still got a lot of flavor. It's not one note. I wouldn't call it one note.
I like the kind of the caramel and barrel notes in the finish that's rolling into, and you're already on your second sip. For me, the finish is still evolving a little bit. I mean, it's a fairly decently long finish for a 90 proofer.
You definitely get the influence of the char. I feel like that's coming from that 6 to 8 year blend of
little milk chocolate in
Right.
there too.
Definitely. I feel like we could spend time with this. I mean, I have to say, 5 years later, and this is, up. It's a little bit different than the original, but it doesn't quite fit where I am anymore. I think I've outgrown it a bit.
Sure.
But I still really like this. Like, if I went to a party and this is what they had, I wouldn't be mad about it. I'd still sip it
Not
neat.
at all.
And I'm not going to have any problems with that. It's probably not what I'm going to pick up at the end of a long day.
Tell you what,
But it's really tasty.
This is more in the ballpark of,
What's that?
for me anyway, is the Evan Williams Bottled and Bond. It has.
That's a great point, Chad.
It's more of those darker notes. Now,
We might have to do that comparison.
we might, but of course,
First we should do the obvious comparison.
everyone's doing. We're gonna compare it
gotta
to
do
the other one. So, another Glencairn. Now this one, as you can see, has been opened and is a little bit lower. So, bear that in mind. We didn't rush out and
We didn't get a full one of these, no.
buy one, but hey, before we get any further in this review, we want to hit pause for just a second and tell you about our home on the internet. It's whiskeyambitions.com. It's where you can get the t-shirt that I'm wearing, the hoodie that Sarah is wearing, the Glencairns that we're drinking from, the water glasses that we're drinking from. We have rocks glasses, copitas, sweatshirts, and more always coming soon. That's whiskeyambitions.com.
You can become a patron at patreon.com/itsbourbonnight. I don't show you more outtakes where I struggle with my hood like that, but we do give you, after the episode, exclusives, patron-only podcasts, first crack at barrel picks, events, and more.
You know we're going to be putting this up against something else in our Another Round of Chat and Sarah for patrons.
I'm already debating on what it's going to be.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll have to discuss, but they will get that. It's not as complex on the nose. And again, grain of salt. This bottle has clearly been opened.
Yeah.
It is low.
But 86 proof.
No, you don't get as much of that nutty and that,
don't.
Those deeper, darker, more mature notes.
But this is definitely, I recognize this as a 1783 nose. Like,
sure.
Like, oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah.
I remember this is how it smells.
I remember my first bourbon.
Even before it, got this low in the bottle. Definitely more muted.
Wow. I didn't realize how different they were going to be. Yes, fruitier, sweeter, lighter, maybe just like a touch of, I wouldn't call it astringency, but it
sharper
comes
corners.
Across, sharper, maybe a little more youthful, is what it's tasting like. Whether it is or not, I don't know. I didn't expect there to be this much of a difference, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, here, Chad, I have a question. Do you feel like, why did they make this decision, right? Do you think that they made the decision to up the proof to 90, to change the bottle, but keeping it at the same price range? Do you think that's because they're aware that the person who's not going to be drinking, their bottom shelf Evan Williams stuff, but maybe not going to go for something limited edition or the higher ups like, an Elijah Craig barrel proof or something like that, that the person who appreciates bourbon wants the flavors and the proof that's here, and they recognize that gap is important?
That's a really good question. I have a couple thoughts on it. One, and this isn't my unique thought, a lot of people are saying that the green label Heaven Hill 90 proof is going away. This is a 6-year age stated, so I have 2 6-year and a 6 to 8 year 90 proofers out there. So they're saying this is
That's
going away.
That's gonna feed this one, I guess.
Part B is, I think this bottle definitely needed a refresh. I think
he needed a little facelift.
Gone are the days of these, little stick-on clear labels.
Yeah.
Not something for the big guys, anyway, the big distillers.
Yeah.
But the other reason is, I think as more and more people get into bourbon and they get a little time under their belt, I think they're leaving the 80 to 86 proof range, and I think 90 is sort of like their
threshold, right?
Well, not their threshold, their entry.
But that's what I mean. For like
their beginning.
The threshold for entry, right? Like,
yeah, I guess
we're
you can
not
have
starting.
A low threshold and an upper threshold. I guess that's
their
90
minimum.
and above. 90 and above. It's their minimum. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I feel like that's sort of the way bourbon taste is headed to. Maybe we're speaking too much from our own experience, but
no, I agree with you, because I think and I'm not just trying to simplify it to this level, but I think that in large part you have a portion of the bourbon drinking community who starts in an entry-level proof of 80 to 90 proof, who are gonna find those things and they're gonna dig their claws in, and that's what they drink. They drink Basil Hayden, they drink Maker's Mark, they drink Woodford, right? And they're not going anywhere. That product satisfies those people who are loyal to that one thing. Then you've got another group of people, they're looking to try as many things as they can, grow their palate, explore a bunch of new stuff. They're not looking to just find their drink. Like, they wanna taste them all, right?
Yeah.
Pokemon. And I think that this is for that group. Like, somewhere along your journey in that group, this is for you. I don't know that they're going to capture the Evan Williams 1783 drinker, like the Maker's Mark drinker.
Right, yeah. And I also think maybe this one had been looked over from some drinkers for a while. One, probably because of this label and this bottle, but also because of the proof.
Yeah.
So now I think they're going to hook some more people who are like, oh, this isn't a nice looking bottle. It's 90 proof. 90 proof is fine. I'm going to give it a try. And then they're going to be like, oh, wow.
Yeah.
Because going back, especially after the original, this
is a vast improvement, I think.
Vast improvement. It's it's richer. It's a little bit more syrup. There's some honey notes in there.
There's a finish.
There's a finish. It sticks around. Yeah,
it does. And I think so. When we talk about the price increase of about $4, I think that $4 is well spent. They probably could have raised it more than $4. I think it was a strategic choice.
Yeah, if they had gone more than 20, they probably would have had to have adjusted the Evan Williams Bottled and Bond, which is around 22 in our neck of the woods anyway. So
and Elijah Craig, which is 94 proof, and what, $27 usually, 28.
I mean, the bottle is a vast improvement.
But I think
label and shape.
But I think normally we're just used to seeing the bottle being the improvement and the reason for the price hike.
I think this is a great contrast to what they did with the Heaven Hill Bottled and Bond. That went away. Then it came back with the much more expensive,
almost triple the price,
1 year older, in a new bottle. And blind, we picked the old 6-year Bottled and Bond. So this, I think, is a makeup for that.
Right.
Now, whether they see it that way or not, at least for us it is.
Yeah.
This is a vast improvement upon this. Let's go ahead and retire this one, and we're back just to this guy. I think for $20 for a 90 proofer that is encroaching upon those tastes that we get in a Bottled and Bond, and if you maybe 100 isn't your area, I think this is basically the Bottled and Bond without a little bit more of that kick. I completely give it a recommend.
100%. I mean, I gave the other one a recommend for so many years, and now this is only an improvement on that.
Yeah.
At $20, yes, I think it will be a crowd pleaser.
Now, I think the next step is then to do it blind against the Bottled and Bond, and maybe, put it up against some other popular 90 proofers like Buffalo Trace, Eagle Rare, Feroza Small Batch.
Yeah. Yeah.
And of course, this will be at the bottom of those price ranges.
So if it were to come in, wouldn't that be interesting?
Yeah. Well, I have to say, I'm impressed. I was expecting there to be a nominal improvement, but I didn't expect it to be this much. I am completely satisfied.
I am pleased.
I am pleased.
I will allow it.
Absolutely.
And I will continue to recommend it.
Yeah, finish mine. Okay, well, hey, that'll do it for us. Just want to say, if you haven't subscribed to us already, you can do so by clicking right up here. There's suggestions of other videos down here. Hope to see you over there in one of those. Thanks, Sarah.
Thanks, Chad.
Okay, until next time, drink more bourbon.